Here we go for Stage 5 of the BPT Bass Pro Tour. Presented by MLF, Bally Bets, all that good stuff. Only 3 events left if you're going to chase down the leaders in this group and win some gift cards, some Super K jigs. The 5th stage of the BPT starts on June 4th. 6-day event. Anglers will be challenged with a post-spawn majority fishery with fish likely moving out to the ledges during the event. So for me, I'm going to focus on offshore anglers, and they're going to be fishing where the fish are coming to them, and they're likely going to have to find fresh schools and fresh fish throughout the event to stay on top of those fish for 6 days if they want to win Stage 5 of the BPT. This event will be a 1 pound, 8 ounce minimum for scoreable bass, so keep that in mind when you set your tiebreakers and your predictor question. Quick check-in on the leaders. I'm now down 800 pounds, so I think I fall even further behind. Let's check the Beat HellaBass group leaders. I'll have links down in the description below. If you still want to join the groups and have a chance to win some Super K gift cards, go ahead. Also, even if you're a little bit out of it in the overall, you can still play each individual event for a chance to win the MLF prizes, which are rod and reel combos for each one of these events. For the traditional BPT game, it looks like Dustin Anderson has now taken control. I believe he leapfrogged Rusty. So things are tight. Still anybody's game. Still several anglers right in the mix within 100 pounds or so, which is totally doable with 3 events to go. I'm mired down in 74th, about 700 pounds behind. So congratulations to at least 70 of you that are beating HellaBass. If you don't think you're going to run any of these people down and be in contention to get yourself some free Super K jigs, and you want some of these handmade in the USA, hand-tied, hand-poured, made in Wisconsin premium swim jigs, use the code down below, HellaBass15, links in the description to save 15% on some great products, and you can get them to your door in just a few days. Now let's talk about picks and strategy for Stage 5 BPT. Watts Barr in Spring City, Tennessee. So for my Group A, I'm going to go with Jordan Lee because he's just having a fantastic year. He's second in AOI. Seems to catch him everywhere. He's from Alabama. He should be familiar. Andy Morgan is a local here. Just down the road, grew up on Chickamauga and some of those. I'm sure he's got plenty of time on Watts Barr, and this time of year should be good for him. Kevin Van Dam seems to do really well on the TVA Tennessee River impoundments. I think the fish are going to be coming offshore. Look for Kevin Van Dam to crank up some really good bass, and he won Chickamauga not too long ago in a BPT-style event, which is not too far from Watts Barr. Wesley Strader, also a local like Andy Morgan, hard not to pick him. And for our below 40, we've got John Murray, who is a recent transplant to Watts Barr, lives on the lake, and that should be good. It's a below 40 pick and having a decent year at 55th. John Murray seems like a solid pick. Group B, got to go Wheeler, Chickamauga, Watts Barr, neighbor reservoirs. He should be right at home, and he catches them everywhere. So no reason not to think Jacob Wheeler won't be in contention on the final day here. Brian Thrift, enough said. He's a GOAT. Got to pick him. Cole Floyd does really well in Kentucky. Not sure how much similar to Kentucky Lake, but it is a Tennessee River system impoundment. So I think he'll be comfortable fishing for offshore ledge fish on this body of water as well. Justin Lucas, just a gut pick. Seems to catch him. A guy that's not too afraid to finesse. So have some finesse for those post-spawn fish. And then lastly, we're going to take Jason Lambert, which is a bit of a stretch because he's in dead last in AOI. But he is a guy that thrives offshore. So if there's ever a time to pick Jason Lambert, this should be the event. So he's my below 40 pick. Lastly, we got to pick a tiebreaker rate for the winners. Final day championship round event. So you got 10 guys on the water. Who's going to win? I think it's going to be in the low 50s. I'm going 52 pounds, 2 ounces to win this event. Wesley Strader in the pre-tournament article predicted 50 to 60 pounds. If that gives you kind of information on what he expects as a local will be the winning weight. Now let's move on to the predictor game. The leader in the overall predictor game has 17 wins. I have 10. I feel like that's slightly closer than 700 pounds, but I don't know. Mathematically, maybe still alive if we can get some of these tough questions right. And the Beat HellaBass Predictor, also 10 wins, but also somebody with 17. Billy Johnson in the driver's seat with a 2-question lead with 3 events. Can he hold off David Meyer and a few others at 14? First question out of the gate. Which General Pro Tire angler will finish highest at this event? Ott Defoe, Edwin Evers, Alton Jones, and Mark Rose. Ott Defoe's having a little bit of off year. Edwin, Alton having strong years. Mark, definitely an offshore specialist and a Tennessee River specialist. So I'm going to go with him, but you could definitely make a case for some of these other anglers. Edwin could be really good here too. Tough call. Question number 2, which Tennessean is going to be best? Morgan, Murray, Neal, or Strader? Bit of a tough call. All basically locals. All basically could do very well. But my gut says Andy Morgan. I think he's just the best at this format. So I'm going to go Morgan. What will the weight be for the last angler in to the Toro cut line? 20 to 25 pounds is what I'm going with. Could be a little less, could be a little more. I don't think it's going to be over 30, but that is a tough call. But I'm going with the 20 to 25 pound. Weight of the biggest bass. I think the chance of it being 0 to 2 pounds is pretty much 0. 2 to 4 pounds. Almost no chance that nobody's going to catch a 4-pounder in the championship round out of 10 anglers. But will somebody catch one over 6? There's a decent chance, but I feel like the odds are in favor that the big bass will be, just under 6 pounds, like high 4 to mid 5s. So I'm going to go with that, playing the odds. How many scoreable bass will be weighed during the knockout round where you've got, I think, 18 anglers? And I'm going to go 22. So a little over more than 1 per person. It could be more than that, but that's my guess. These ones where you got to nail them right on the head are tricky for sure. And then total scoreable bass for the champion in the final round, I think he's going to be around the low to mid 20s. So I'm going 24 bass for the winner, which is about 3 bass per hour for 8 hours. And those are my picks. If Talkin' Fantasy Fishing has got you two amped up and you're craving to get on the water, but you can't, check out my recent tournament video right here.